Welcome to the class 9 students. This is the part 4 of the chapter Life and its Diversity. In my previous video, I have discussed about the concept of taxonomy, why it is important, and the components of taxonomy. I hope you have understood till this much. And next, today, I will be moving on with the topic of taxonomic hierarchy. Now, the word hierarchy means step by step, like this, okay? So, when it is increasing or decreasing anything in a step by step manner, this is known as hierarchy, okay? In taxonomy also, the categorization of different organisms or different species is done in a hierarchical manner, that is in a step-by-step manner. Firstly, we have grouped all organisms into two kingdoms, plant and animal. Suppose we're talking about animal kingdom, and then animal kingdom is again subdivided into many categories which are known as phylum, and then each phylum is then again subdivided into many class, so on. Okay, so we will discuss about all the steps or hierarchy of taxonomy. Okay, now let me tell you what or how we can define taxonomic hierarchy. The systematic framework of classification in which taxonomic groups are arranged in a definite order. A proper order should be there to categorize all the organisms. Okay, from higher to lower categories. So when I said about these steps, I said that this can be hierarchy, it can be in any way, either from higher to lower or from lower to higher, but taxonomic hierarchy should always be from higher to lower. Okay, like from animal kingdom, which is the highest category, to species, which is the lowest category. Okay, taxonomic hierarchy is also known as Linnean hierarchy because it was first proposed by the scientist Linnaeus. Okay, Linnaeus first proposed this total concept of hierarchy or taxonomic hierarchy. That is why this is also known as Linnean hierarchy. Clear? Now, each category is a taxonomic unit and is known as taxon. So each category is category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There can be more. Okay, I've just drawn this for example. So each category is one taxonomic unit, and each of them is known as taxa. They are known as taxa or taxon. Okay, the categories used in the classification of animals by Linnaeus are kingdom. Let me write it down for you. So the categories are kingdom, after that phylum, after that class, then order, then family, after that genus, and species. So these are the main categories that were at first or initially given by Linnaeus. Later on, these categories have many more subcategories, and that makes it much more elaborate, but you will read that when you will go to higher classes. But in class 9 you will be reading these categories only. Okay, so as I said that Linnaeus, the categories used in the classification of animals by Linnaeus are kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. In case of plants, phylum is replaced by division. There is no phylum under plant kingdom. There is, after kingdom comes division. That means plant kingdom has many divisions and animal kingdom has many phylums, and many phylums has many classes, while many divisions has, again, this is from this part onwards, it is same for plants and animals. These 7 categories used by Linnaeus are known as obligate categories. These are the basic categories which are known as obligate categories, and as I said, later on many more subcategories have been discovered, but you will learn that later on. So firstly, as I said, kingdom, the highest category is kingdom, there are two kingdoms, plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Plant kingdom can be subdivided into many phylums. Plant kingdom can be subdivided into many divisions, while animal kingdom can be subdivided into many phylums. Again, many phylum, or again one phylum or one division can be subdivided into many classes. One class can be subdivided into many orders, and so on, until we go to species, which is the lowest category. Okay. So in your book you will find examples of hierarchy of mango. Okay, you will find the example where the scientific name of mango, or how it has been categorized into groups, has been properly given in a step-by-step manner. It is not given in a step-by-step manner in your book, it is just written in a chart form, but while you will write like that, step-by-step manner: kingdom, phylum, class, order, genus, like this. It will go like this. Okay, you will not write in this manner, you will just it will go in a step-by-step process. So you will have to learn the scientific means the hierarchy of mango and man that are given in your book. Talking of the hierarchy of mango, it falls under plant kingdom, obviously. The division of mango is angiospermy. Class, the class of mango is Dicotyledone, and family is Anacardiaceae. Genus is Mangifera, species is indica. So the scientific name of mango is Mangifera indica, and how the phylum, division or class, order, family have been categorized, it is properly given here. You will have to learn this by heart. Okay, moving on to the hierarchy of man. This is more important than the hierarchy of mango. Obviously man falls under animal kingdom, and the phylum is Chordata. Animal kingdom, phylum Chordata. Class is Mammalia. Obviously we human beings are mammals, so the class under the phylum will be Mammalia. Order will be primates. Family will be Hominidae, and then genus will be Homo, and species will be Sapiens. Thus the scientific name of man is Homo sapiens. So you will have to learn the hierarchy of these two by heart, and you will also find a few more scientific names in page number 12. The scientific name of potato is Solanum tuberosum. The scientific name of lion is Panthera leo. Scientific name of tiger is Panthera tigris. Mango is already there. We have discussed the hierarchy of mango and man. So along with these two, you will learn the scientific names of those. So I hope I have cleared the total idea of taxonomic hierarchy, or how hierarchy works in taxonomy. And these are the obligate categories which were proposed by Linnaeus: kingdom, phylum or division, class, order, family, genus and species. Okay, we will move on with the next topic in the next video, and the next topic will be binomial nomenclature, how to properly give the scientific names to a particular organism. Okay, see you in the next video. Thank you.